Making progress getting the big man down here. He don't usually come, does he? Huh?
No, we had him down a couple times down at the other place when we was down there at the whatever that bar was, sports bar.
Yeah.
He come a couple
Well, that
times.
pizza place was packed tonight. And welcome to the Locker Room Chat, live here at Calhoun's down on the Oak Ridge River.
Clinch River.
Clinch River, okay. I just,
Get it right.
Well, it's just the river. I mean, this, from where I come from, this is just a little pond.
A pond. We're down at Calhoun's on the pond then.
But come on down. Join us tonight. Special guest tonight. We've got Anderson County Mavericks. Coach Gillum is down there tonight. Hey, we've hit the big time, buddy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Big time.
Oh,
But
yeah.
had you rather be at this Calhoun's or Calhoun's on the river with Butch Jones later on tonight?
I like to have been down there with Butch.
Would
Yeah.
They wouldn't let you ask the question. They might let me, but not you.
Well, but you'd give me the microphone, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I sure would, because they'd take it away from
I
me.
mean, we'd have to trick them a little bit, like Adams and Jim did there. But
Yeah.
actually, you can't go wrong at any Calhoun's, can you?
No.
Huh?
No.
But anyway, glad to have you with us here tonight. Week 11. Week 11.
It's about over.
The 10-game season is coming to an end Friday night, and gosh, I'm sure for players and coaches and cheerleaders and the band, it's been a long summer. But man, it goes by fast.
Goes by real quick, and I'm sure it has been. Some teams are happy right now, and some are not.
Well, you're right, and as we mentioned, week 0 before we started this thing, and we sort of went through and put our teams sort of where we thought they would end up. It's interesting that you go back and look at some of those, and I'm not sure we had the Mavericks at possibly 10-0.
What do we have, Matt? I don't know. I don't remember.
We'll look here in a minute and see. But as you said, certainly for some teams, things have gone as planned. Others, injuries, various things have gone wrong. But all in all, it's been another great high school football season. And regardless of how things went, Friday night it ends. Some will advance to the playoffs. Some won't. It'd be interesting to see after this season how some teams perceive the playoff to be. Is it better? Is it worse? So it's going to have a lot of feedback.
Well, I think the thing that I like about this coming up Friday night, the really good thing is there's some really big football games. There's some region championships that are going to be decided. There's going to be some teams that's either going to play themselves in or play themselves out. That happened last week. I think Sunbright actually played themselves out of the playoff last week by losing that game that they lost. That put them out. I don't think there's a possibility for them to get in.
Right.
So, the Oak Ridge-Fulton game Friday night is for first or second place for either one of them. And there's some scenarios in that region that's got to play out.
But the good thing about that particular game is Oak Ridge controls their own destiny.
Yeah,
they don't have to worry about
everybody right
the
there
winner
does.
of that game is the winner of the region.
Some of those other scenarios that I've seen what Brad's got here, there's
Midway and Oliver
some
Springs,
things like that. They're there's still some
that's an
scenarios
iffy
that's
third
up in
and
the,
fourth.
right,
And a lot of them playing for third and fourth, depending on what happens. But as you can see there, Greenback is in. Cofield plays Oneida out of region, so that really doesn't have any effect. Oliver Springs,
team I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs.
Oliver Springs.
Yeah,
they're
their record
they're playing well right now.
That record doesn't indicate anything. I mean, that they're a little bit better. They're getting a little bit better every week. It's a team that I don't know that I'd want to draw to have to play in the first round. And that'd be Jellicoe.
Well, it's certainly one that
and Midway
could help this region.
Midway is a team that has had a fairly good year, sort of up and down recently. Had a really tough part of the schedule to play the last part. But, that's a big improvement for Midway. The one there that really gets everybody, gets your eye is Harriman. I mean, Harriman's down a little bit this year after having a really good run last year, and
Oliver Springs was a big reason there. I mean, they go to Oliver Springs, and a lot of folks thought that they should win that one because of Oliver Springs' record. But that's really the night that Oliver Springs turned it around.
They turned it around, and from that point on, I think in that 3-game stretch, put like 150-some points on the board and really turned their season around.
Not in that one game.
No, not in the one game. Okay. In 3-game stretch, I said. They started in a 3-game stretch there, turned it around, and got their season turned around. I mean, they very well could have packed it up and went home 0-5.
Yep.
Very well could have packed it up and went home, but they didn't pack it up. They stayed out and hung it out, went on a 3-game winning streak, had a really good game going last week, played really good, just were up against a little bit better team. So it's going to be interesting to see the next 2 or 3 weeks what happens. Be interested to see on Cofield's side what happens with them. I mean, they played themselves into a really tough situation. Possibly could be on the road after the first round the rest of the way and have some tough games.
And was up 21-7 in that Green.
Yeah, and everybody you talk to, just what happened, and thought Cofield wins that game by 21, probably, maybe even. So I'm sure, and they're up by 21, as Brad's telling us now. I'm sure that Cofield coaches are wondering what happened.
Well, I got a little bit of insight Friday night in talking to Coach Henry, because I'm sure a lot of folks were wondering why wasn't Parker McKinney running the football in the second half, and he had a pulled hamstring muscle, so that's why he wasn't running. I mean, he was probably doing well to do what he did, but no excuses from Coach Henry. You got that kind of lead, you ought to be able to play. And it really came down to a 4th down play with less than 2 minutes to go. I mean, they make that first down. And who knows what may happen then? They may get it on in. But all in all, it is what it is. You don't take advantage.
Football.
You don't take advantage of it, and it's really called life, isn't it? I mean, it's
life. Well, and we say it every year about Harriman. You go at the first year to do a Harriman game, come back the second half of the year, and you'll see different kids playing different positions because of injuries. That's that happens to every school, whether it's 1A or 5A or 6A.
That's right.
You just hope it doesn't happen to you.
But lots of we got some. Let's look at some games this week as we've talked about them. And the big one, Oak Ridge is going to Fulton. Austin East at Alcoa. That's a region championship on the line there. Sequoia at Anderson County. That will be our game of the week. And it really, Anderson County has already won the region, but consequences of that game is Anderson County could be undefeated for the first time, I think, in school history. Sequoia is trying to play in, so Anderson County has to take care of business, not only to remain undefeated, but it would mean that Sequoia would not get in. So you have Tellico Plains at Bledsoe, Boyd Buchanan at CAK, Carnes at Clinton. That's a game that Clinton should win.
We'll see. That's all I got to say. We'll see. Clinton's on a 7-game losing streak.
Oneida at Cofield. Oneida's started off really strong. I think they were 5-0. They faltered some down the stretch. Can they go to Cofield? And that's another pretty good rivalry. I mean, when Oneida was 1A, that was a big rivalry.
That's a big rivalry game, yes.
So that's another big one right there. Kingston at Gatlinburg Pittman. And Kingston on the road would like to win that one. that would put them in a position of not losing any game that they should have won.
They've done what they're supposed to do.
That's exactly right.
And then I think Union County won their third game last week,
which is huge.
Well, to win 3 games when they'd went 25 or 26 games, maybe even longer than that, without winning a game, you're right. That's huge to win that third
Rutledge
game.
Pike does that get renamed?
Kerr Pike. Yep. Well, they should. He's done a really good job over there his first year.
He has. Campbell County at Knoxville West. Well, Union County ought to get new uniforms, a new field house, and anything else they want.
Yeah.
I
agree with you.
So that's a look at some games around the area. Pick you out one, and Bradley Central at Maryville. Bradley Central's had a pretty good year. Don't know that they'll come to Maryville and upset them, but Bradley County's they're like 8-1. Pretty good season. The winner wins the region. Yeah, Greenback is where was Greenback? Greenback is at Oakdale. Midway at Oliver Springs, another big game. That'll be a fun game. Be a fun game.
Yeah.
Be a lot of offense in that football game.
Cumberland Gap at Rockwood. What's Rockwood playing for, second or third there? There's some scenarios.
That would be second. They would be playing for second if they win. It would be second. And
what's really interesting is we're talking about these teams in the playoffs. That we're going to have quite a few from there that's going to be in the playoffs. So that's the good thing.
Sunbright is at Unaka.
Wow!
Does that give us any look at that region up there? If they're, I don't know where Unaka would be, and out of the playoffs, not eligible.
They're ineligible because they refused to go to Greenback last year.
And Ray County at Cane Ridge. Ray County on a roll right now. Coach Pemberton's got them really fired up, and they'll be on the roll. He's got some surprises.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I told you a couple weeks ago.
You could tell me
when they played Catholic, that wasn't even the same offense. You saw that. Wasn't near the same offense. So what I found out is that he's sort of been playing cat and mouse with these.
Yeah, that's what I'd be doing with it all on the line. I mean, I'd be playing cat and mouse on a region game. Yeah, I'm sure I'd do that. All right. I'll take your word for it.
We like to break news here, and that's
well, you're breaking it, all right.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Okay.
Breaking news when you need to know.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'd be doing is holding out on my offense when I'm playing a region game, waiting for the end of the year, hoping I'll make the playoffs.
I think he probably felt Catholic was.
Yeah, that's a confidence I'd want to show on my team.
So
too.
You don't go back and pull that wing tee out until the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'm just giving you a little food for thought.
I'm not buying or eating it.
Well, but now I want to congratulate you tonight. It's been a rough year. As far as where your allegiance has been toward a lot of teams, but I think it came out tonight that you're a Wildcat fan.
Oh, I'm Coach Gaddis fan all the way. I take up for him every Friday night. I call and take up for him. When Triple D's on him, I take up for him.
But I don't want you to get a big head and think that you're on the bus yet. Now, I think
I'm on the bus.
No, I don't know.
Because I'll buy the bus to ride so that I can go. I'll be the janitor on the bus.
Well, but you'd be the only one on that bus.
No, me and Coach Gass go
No. Yeah. So I want you to stay cool now. Stay calm because I don't want you to get
I'm on the bus.
I don't want you to get thrown off the bus before you get on.
There'll be some fans who throw me off. They'll do that themselves. I won't even have to say anything.
You got to stay humble. Oh,
I'm humble.
Okay. You got to stay humble.
I'm real humble.
We're going to take a break. We've talked enough. We're going to have Coach Gillum up and some of his players. So stay tuned. We'll be back in the locker room.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Impreza models for up to 63 months during the model year-end sale at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower, featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
And welcome back to the locker room. And this handsome young man between us here now is really adding to our show here tonight, Queener.
He is.
Coach Gillum, welcome.
Thank you.
It's
I appreciate y'all having me.
Always nice to know that you're taking some time out to come down and be with us here. And we're always looking forward to coming up to your spot, and we'll be there Friday night.
Yeah, should be exciting. Senior night, last regular season game, our first chance in school history to go 10-0. So we're excited. It should be a nice night, nice atmosphere, and hopefully we play like we're capable of.
Well, I'm glad you brought the undefeated season up, because I was almost afraid to bring it up, Coach, but it's got to be exciting.
Oh, it is. There's been a lot of good football players in Anderson County. We've for 35 years. We've only won 3 district championships, and we got one this year, and we've never been undefeated, and it says a lot to the competition in the area, but at the same time it says a lot for these kids this year, and I'm just excited for them. They put in a lot of work, and sometimes my coaches do a good job, and they put in a lot of time, and I appreciate them, but sometimes we get too much credit. We coach hard every year. Coach them the same. Last year was 3-7, and we coached them just as hard. So it says a lot about these kids and what they've accomplished.
Coach, what's the difference between last year and this year?
Really, a lot of it is just maturity. You know, we've been playing a lot of young kids for 2 years now. And they're great football players, and they've just grown up. They've cut their teeth against the best teams in Tennessee with Catholic and Fulton and Oak Ridge and Greenville. You know, any other schedule, they've been 7-3 or 8-2 the last 2 years. They're a good football team. And, you know, if our quarterback had stayed healthy, it probably would have had a different ending those 2 years. But all these kids have played a lot of football the last 3 years, and some of them 4 years, and they've played against the best, and they're seasoned veterans, and we're not afraid of nobody, and just savvy football players.
If you look at the Prep Extra stuff, and you look at how do you keep all those receivers happy? Because they're all in there. I mean, they've all contributed.
Yeah.
Maybe about 7 of them. Am I right? 7 or 8?
Yeah. We've got quite a few catching balls, and they're all doing good. Really, the biggest problem we have is those numbers could be doubled. We've only had 1 or 2 games where those kids have got to play past halftime, and we haven't let Stanton throw for 800 yards a game in the second half, and our receivers do all that. So most of those numbers are all first half numbers. So that's all on Stanton's back, how he's divvying that
out. He's divvying it out. Now, not only impressed with the passing game, then you've got a double-headed monster that runs out of the backfield, and Phillips and Galler. I mean, Lord have mercy, 2 beasts.
Yeah, they're both great running backs,
runners.
And I think most people know Mason's story. You've only great vision, and he's only got one eye.
He's only got one eye. I think that's a great story. I mean, he runs so hard.
Both of them 200-pound plus running backs. I think Marquise is closer to 225. I think Mason's probably closer to 210, but both of them very strong, thick lower halves, run the ball hard, aggressive, and arm tackles ain't going to cut it. And honestly, Chris plays receiver. He's here tonight for us, but Chris is just as good. He's our home run hitting guy, but we've put him out on the perimeter just to try and keep our best 11 on the field.
I'm going to steal Barry's question here. I know a few years ago you told me and Ron that you need to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
Need to be a little bit meaner. You think you are now?
Yeah, we've had trouble with this group dialing it back a little bit. Some guilty parties here tonight.
He's better than his dad, I'll tell you that. All right,
Coach. I remember this freshman class, and Coach Terry telling us, said, you know, this is it. This is the big time. It's going to take a little time, but if these kids will stay together and do what we ask them to do and work and stuff, that this is going to be a special class.
Yeah, we knew we had our biggest challenge as coaches for our seniors and junior classes. We knew how good they were growing up and their potential, but was just keeping them all together, keeping them out, and keeping that kind of chemistry with them. You also worry when you come in and you have to play as freshmen against older guys. One of the best qualities you can have as an athlete is confidence. And if you're 14 going against an 18-year-old that's fixing to play at Tennessee, sometimes you can get that knocked out of you. But these kids have just says a lot for their character and how tough they are to go through that 2 years of that and then come out of it and better for it. Not
Coach,
let it break them.
I think another thing perhaps that's really helped your program is your feeder program.
Yeah, and both of them is doing better and better every year. Coach No and Coach Moog over at Norris, they've been a huge part of everything we do and pushing Anderson County football and working with the kids and trying to get them in 7-on-7s and just developing skills. They push them to me in the wintertime to do speed training, and there's kids that are graduating now that I've been working doing speed training on the side with since they're 10 years old, you know. And then Coach Bass and Coach Braden actually left our program this year to go to Lake City and try and help that program, and they did a great job this year taking a lot of the skills we're trying to teach at the high school level down to the middle school level and getting the kids ready and getting them excited about being Mavericks. And we're real excited about the way the program's going, but it is a lot bigger than me and just even my coaches. It's about our community and all of us working together to put these kids in the best program possible.
Let's talk about the community just for a second. Facility-wise, you don't want for anything. These kids look good.
Yes.
They dress good. You've got weight room that's second to none, and now you've got a turf field. Anything you've asked for, pretty good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And again, it says a lot about our community and what they think of their kids, really, because it's their kids that are going through our system, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, softball. But parents get involved because they want their kids to have the best. And the thing we preach is, if there's anything in life you want, you can have it, but you got to be willing to work for it. All these things we have are great, and our school system's given us permission to have them. But at the end of the day, we have to go work for it to get them to raise money. And, there's a lot of great people that help do that, from parents. Coach Terry was instrumental in us getting that turf field and just constantly staying on people raising money. But at the same time, we got a locker room that rivals Tennessee's. And we had some people donate some materials, and then coaches and my brother especially took time to build that. And it's hundreds of hours of work, and same thing with the weight room. But if we don't take pride in it, our kids ain't going to take pride in it. But we believe if we give them something special, that they'll realize the importance of it and put the time and the work in. And right now that seems to be paying off for us.
It hadn't been that many years since you were playing at Anderson
Feels like
County. But did you ever think, when you left Anderson County High School, that high school football would be where it is today? I mean, there are TV stations that are everywhere on Friday nights now. For years and years, we were the only game. And now you have to look at schedules to see who's coming in to broadcast your game.
No, I really couldn't have foreseen that, and the social media aspect. The news covers everybody through social media and everything now, but it's far beyond that, and the level of football that's being played now is just astronomically different than what it was when I was playing.
We're going to take a break, come back, and we've got some Maverick players here that we're going to talk a little bit about as well. And again, we appreciate you being down here with us tonight.
Honored to be here. Thank you.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Impreza models for up to 63 months during the model year-end sale at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower, featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
And welcome back to the locker room here at Calhoun's on the river. And again, stay tuned at top of the hour for Coach Gaddis's coaches show. He'll be on, and he'll have a sort of an insight for you about the big ball game that he has Friday night with Fulton. So stay tuned for that. Coach Gillum, you've got some players with you tonight.
Yes, sir.
Introduce these players to us here.
First, we got Trey No, number 55. He's a junior, plays OLDL. Had a great year so far. Trey's he's one of those young guys that's got to start since he's a freshman. And we got senior Chris Powell. He's the one I was telling you about that we've moved him to slot receiver, even though he's just as good as our other running backs, just to keep our best 11 on the field. He's had a great year at slot and a great year at safety. And then we got Dalton Wilson, plays corner and wide receiver. Dalton, statistically, has had one of the best years of any Anderson County receiver in history. He broke a couple of records. He had one game where he had 5 touchdown catches in one game, a couple hundred yards. And
that's what I said about his receivers. Wow. He's got some receivers up there.
I'll tell you what, to break some receiving records, you've had some pretty good quarterbacks and receivers up there.
We have, yeah. So it says a lot for how Dalton did. And really, Dalton's done so well, it's dictated the way teams have to cover us. Pretty much everybody from the William Blunt game on has tried to double him, and it's given Mikey Carroll on the other side single coverage, and now Mikey's numbers are catching Dalton's because they're having to pick who they want to double. So
pick your poison.
Yeah.
Well, let's Trey, you've got the microphone there. Welcome to the locker room.
Nice to be here.
Share us a little bit about what's going on this year. Now, you guys are 9-0, chance to do something no Maverick team has done. Got to be pretty exciting.
Incredibly excited. I've been a ball boy since I was 4 years old on the sidelines, and I've seen good Anderson County teams play. I've seen bad Anderson County teams play. I've been a part of a couple bad Anderson County teams, and it's just trying to find our niche this year. First 10-0 season.
So what kind of feeling is there in the community this week?
Oh, it's incredible. Walk through the hallways, people are excited. I'm excited. I'm sure Chris and Dalton are excited. Coach Gillum's excited, obviously.
Coach, he's too good looking to be a lineman. You know what?
He's better looking than his dad.
Yeah, he looks better looking than his dad. I mean, he looks like a West Coast kind of guy. Huh?
Yeah. He's a better football player. He's better looking than his dad. That's all. You better say a shout out to your dad. He'd be mad at me and you both.
Oh, hey, Dad.
Yeah, don't forget Mom.
My mom, yeah. My grandfather, he's not been doing too well lately, and it's just great being here and all the blessings we've had.
Well, good. Again, so you've been around this program enough, so nobody had to really sell you on this thing. But it's got to be a good feeling to know that you've been a part of turning this program around.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. Just getting here as a freshman, just those guys working hard since freshman year, really, with Stanton, Ryan, Dalton, Chris. Just great feeling.
Well, good. Well, good to have you with us. Pass it over to Chris there, and let's see. And Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Coach, I tell you what, these good-looking guys here now. We may have a fashion show going.
Yeah, I think Chris fancies himself as a ladies' man.
Oh,
I don't know about all that.
So as a receiver, you have to be pretty excited about having someone back there with a rocket arm, don't you?
Oh, that's for sure. I mean, you never know who's going to get the big game, and we're all excited for each other just to come out there and experience it all.
But I notice you guys are always smart enough to bring a big man with you.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy just a taste of what's going on, right?
That's right.
But it's got to be incredible. I know the years that we've been coming up and just getting to watch a couple of games, the offensive. The only thing that's more explosive than your offense are the fireworks. Coach Gillum has always, I guess, been offensive minded, and the only thing he hates to do is punt. I mean, we've seen him. Surely he's not going to go for it. Well, yeah, he is going to go for it.
Do you even have a punter this year?
It's the quarterback.
It's the quarterback.
Just in case.
Just in case. Okay.
Share with us a little bit about how special this season has been for you.
This season's been a real special season. You talked about the community, and one thing I've noticed is just even today out in the parking lot, people are coming up and they're wanting to talk about the season. I'm being asked about the season, what it's like to be the first team to go, was it 8-0, and now we're 9-0, going undefeated. Everybody wants to ask you about that. And it's great, it's just trying to dodge all the distractions and stay focused on our main goal here. And it's just it's been a great experience.
So a byproduct, have you heard that one before?
Yeah.
A byproduct of all of this is, I'm sure, and you talk about the fans, but I would guess that even in the middle school and the elementary school, those kids now all of a sudden have a little special interest, a little more interest in the Mavericks because of what possibly could take place.
That's for sure. I remember watching when I was in middle school, coming and watching the games, and you just always, when certain players would do good and you see them in public or something, it was just a special feeling to be able to see. You felt like they were something like the NFL, being able to see them. And I couldn't imagine, it's hard to believe that that's what we are now to the younger kids.
And I'm sure Coach reminds you of that all the time, right?
Oh, that's right.
Because, Coach, that is something that a lot of these 16 and 17-year-olds don't understand, is that they were that age one time, and it is. That's the standard.
Well, we do talk to them about it a lot because we expect them to carry themselves in a way that's positive for our community, and we got expectations. We're trying to build leaders, and we talk about the importance, the platform they have, and the opportunity they have to make a difference in our community and in school. And I've got kids. I've got a little boy who's 8, and I've got nephews, and my kids have grown up. Their heroes not being Peyton Manning, but being Stanton Martin and David Mabe and Chris Powell and these guys, and they play with them, and they're good to these kids. And every Friday they go up to CRCS and read with kids and things like that. And they've really done a good job, not just on the field, but on and off, with the platform they've been given, being good leaders and making a difference in our community.
We've actually seen your little boy grow up, Coach. He's been on the sidelines for the last 4 or 5 years that we've been up there, and it is. I mean, and it sort of makes Queener old.
What about you?
It makes me feel old. I know that much.
Chris, I know you talk about going undefeated, and I'm sure the coaches have put you on a game-to-game basis all year. When did you know this football team was special?
In the off season, in all the years in the past, you could just tell there's something great that's coming. The way the leadership is, the way we all been able to hold together, being able to be with somebody for so long, and not falling apart, being able to stay friendship and all that, and just. That's how you could tell it's off. The things off the field is normally when you can tell if it's going to be a great season, and I think that's something we've been able to do pretty good at.
Great. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just my family, my grandparents, and my mom.
Just keep on smiling, baby. Keep on smiling. And Dalton, as a cornerback, and on the defensive side, I know you guys probably really look at the fact that the better job you do, the more times and the more plays your offensive team is going to get on the field.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not one to talk on TV.
Well, that's all right. Hey.
He just scores touchdowns, Barry.
That's right.
5.
That's right.
It's 5 in one game.
But,
He lets his play do the talking.
Well, but Coach, I tell you, I mean, all these good-looking guys here. I mean, what you got going on up there?
Well, now Dalton's a legacy player here. His dad played, and I believe graduated in '94, '95. When I was a sophomore at Anderson County, he was an all-state football player and one of the best couple of receivers that have ever come through the school. Now, some of the records his dad had, Dalton's breaking now. So it's
wow.
It's been pretty neat on a lot of levels this year.
So Dalton, again, it's got to be, you know, not many high school football players play on an undefeated season. I mean, there's a hiccup somewhere almost every year along the way, and I'm sure now, and the word focused was used earlier. How tough is it this week to stay focused on this football game?
I mean, we've been focused all year. We just take every week, game by game. And, I mean, this week's a big week. Going into playoffs, we're just trying to get the win this week and move week by week.
Share with us a little bit about now. You guys have taken about 4 trips to Chattanooga this year, and I understand Coach Terry's gone out and raised you enough money to sort of ride on a nice bus. That's got to be pretty awesome too, isn't it?
Yeah. Coach Terry makes it all happen. It's nice having a tour bus, not having to ride the school bus down there.
Well, and you know, and you probably really don't pay much attention to it, but I'm sure that when you guys drive, when you arrive in a big, nice, fancy bus, that other team's looking. I mean, they're saying, hey, there's something going on here. You know, we ride school buses, and they're coming in a big charter bus. Coach, that's got to say something about your program as well.
Well, I hope so. And again, it goes back to what we say, and if we take pride in it, our kids will. So we want them to know it's important. But also part of playing high school football, and really the biggest part, isn't whether our kids get to go play at Tennessee or University of Cumberland or that. It's the memories and experience that they have while they're there, and we're trying to give them a once-in-a-lifetime experience and try to make every bit of it as special as we can. So if we're going to Chattanooga, we're going to make a day out of it, and we're going to leave early. We're going to take that bus. We're going to walk through somewhere. If there's a college close, we'll contact them, and we'll go there and be on that college field. And that's really more what high school football is about.
Dalton, how special is it? I think you had a couple walkthroughs at UTC this year on your way down through there. That's all of those things have to be really special, don't they?
Yeah, Coach Terry sets most of that up for us, and it's nice being able to go places and get to see where the schools that you could possibly go to.
Okay. So we're not going to get a whole lot out of you, are we?
Probably not.
Friday night, he said you get it out on Friday night. Okay.
I tell you, we'll just
hope
wait
it's
for
a Friday night.
and say, wow, that's what he meant right there. That exclamation point. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
No, parents, family. Ready to get rid of the mic.
Well, I don't think any of them were surprised that you didn't want to even do that as well, Doc. But good luck. We appreciate you guys being down here tonight, and you know, for the first time in school history, you guys have an opportunity to be the first, and you know, and Coach, the thing that a lot of them don't understand about that is that's not just this year. You know, they're 20-year reunions for undefeated teams. And,
yeah.
I mean, this is on and on and on.
Yeah, we've tried to talk to them about how hard it is to just win a region championship, and then how rare it is to go undefeated. And I mean, we've had some great football players at our school, and we've had some great teams, and have never been able to have this kind of season. And they know a lot of those football players, and like when they were little, seeing them grow up, and some of their dads were on those teams. So there's a lot of people trying to get across just how hard it is to do what they're doing, and how rare it is, and how special it is, just so they can enjoy the moment more.
Coach, you had a good year. Continue on. That's all I got to say. We'll be there Friday night to see it.
Well, we're excited. Hopefully if we go into each week, like I was saying, just focusing on that week and really just focusing on us. And we feel like right now, if we play good, clean football, there's not many teams in the area that can stay with us 4 quarters. And I think that'll be the case Friday if we play well. And down the road we're going to hit Elizabethton and Greenville, and we need to play our best.
That's what was going to be my next question. So it's Friday night, so we'll reset the clock. Everybody's square, zip, and it's winner take all.
Yeah, and like you're saying, we'll celebrate if things go our way Friday night. We'll celebrate and be in 10-0 in that region championship. But Saturday morning we'll put that on the shelf, and there'll be a time to celebrate it. But it's not now.
It's not now. Got more work to do.
Any special fireworks for Friday night playing?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. And you need to put a curfew on these last 2 nights. I mean, you big man over here. He's about to go to sleep over here, Coach. I mean, maybe he's studying too hard or something, but I doubt that.
We try and run them enough where they can't stay up too late.
Well, good. It's always fun to catch up with you guys. I know we've watched, we've got a lot of memories from up there. We watched Coach Terry pull a hamstring running down the sideline on a kick return and all kinds of things. And it's been fun. You've always, y'all have always opened your doors to us, and it's special. It's a special place for us to come, and we just thank you for it.
Well, we appreciate that. It is a nice community. It says a lot about our community, not just our teams from year to year, but more of the atmosphere that's set at Anderson County. But at the same time, we appreciate you guys and the platform you're giving these high school students to be seen and get on TV. It means a lot to them.
Brad, could you get one more shot over here? I mean, I want him now. So he's awake now. Yeah, he's awake now. This morning, everybody get you guys. Thank you for coming
and good luck.
And Dalton, between now and Friday night after the game, now we may ask you another question or two after the game. So you get geared up. Yeah, get that thing away from me.
He does his speaking on Friday night, right? Leave him alone.
Now, Coach, he doesn't use any of that old Bolitnikov gook on his hands or gloves or nothing now. I mean, we're all legal now.
No, I tell you, Dalton.
He doesn't even know who Bolitnikov is. So.
No, I'm sure he don't. But he don't hardly come off the field. He's on special teams. He probably has to run more go routes and posts than anybody in the state of Tennessee. But then he turns right around and plays corner and guards all the goes and posts. Wow. But at the same time, he's a selfless kid. He blocks as hard as ROL. If he's not the one getting the ball or it's a run or screen, most of our highlight film are on long runs. Have him in it springing those runs. So kind of like Chris was saying, our guys are selfless. This team is about the team, and there's been plenty of success to go around for everybody. Nobody's worried about how many catches they got or touches. One of the most enjoyable things for me is when we score, they're all running in there, and it don't matter who scores it's a celebration. Our whole team's excited. Everybody's excited for each other. So it's a great atmosphere. A lot of chemistry on this team, and a lot of good chemistry. It's fun to be a Maverick right now.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming, and we'll see you Friday night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll take a break. We'll be right back in the locker room.
Thank you, guys.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Impreza models for up to 63 months during the model year-end sale at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Really? Again? Hey, if I had automotive style suspension like the new Simplicity, plus a free floating mower deck for the best cut, I'd be all that too. Well, and if I had the expertise and advice of his Simplicity dealer, maybe he'd look forward to hanging out with me.
You don't have a Simplicity dealership.
Good point. Huh.
Yeah. SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the locker room, and now we're pleased to have Coach Gaddis with us. And Coach, thanks for stopping by.
Sure, I was.
Since you're in the room and everything, we appreciate it.
Just finished eating, so I'm here.
Coach, it doesn't seem possible that another season is almost over, does it?
No, it doesn't. You know, my favorite time of the year is when football starts, and my least favorite time of the year is when it ends. So hopefully we're not close to the end, but we are very close to the end of the regular season.
Well, and one of the things that you have to like about where you are now is that you control your own destiny. You don't have to worry about what somebody else is going to do. It's in your team's hands to get it done, and they win. They win the region. Exactly.
At one point, way back in the season, we were, if I'm not mistaken, we were 2-2 overall, and 1-0 in the region. And I told them after that second loss, which was particularly distasteful, that we controlled our own destiny. You know, we were essentially in the driver's seat in our region, and what had happened in a couple of non-region games really had no impact on our playoff hopes. And here we are, 5 weeks, 6 weeks later, whatever it is, and we're 5-0 in the region, playing the only other 5-0 team in the region for the region championship Friday night.
And Coach, when you look at your schedule, we talked about it early on, and I was trying to find out who did that schedule for you. but you're looking at Dobbins, Bennett, and Farragut. One of those teams will win that region this week. You've had a really nice schedule now that sets you up for the playoffs, doesn't it? I mean, you've played some really good football teams.
Well, we have. We started out with Hardin Valley, who I don't know what their record is now. They were pretty good when we played them. And then we went to Dobbins Bennett, and they're a very, very good physical football team. Then we played Campbell County, who's going to be in the playoffs, and then we played Farragut, and then we played West. And when we played West still had their quarterback. Unfortunately, he got hurt pretty much on the last play of the game against us and will not return. But they were a tough physical defensive football team, and Sevier County. And we played some good football teams early, and then we've gotten better. And now we're going to play certainly a really good football team at Fulton Friday night, and that ought to certainly get us playoff ready.
Coach, what kind of challenges does Fulton pose to you Friday night?
Tons of speed. You saw that when I was over there at the Clinton game because we were off that night. They have 4 or 5 receivers who can fly, and I don't mean they're just fast. They can really go. Their quarterback, everybody around here knows the quarterback. He's been starting since he was a freshman. He can throw the ball as far as those guys can run. And
You got that right.
And really, he's completed so many long passes, and defensive backs fall asleep because he doesn't think he can throw it that far, but he can. So you have to really be careful with that. They have a good running game. They got a couple of running backs who can fly. Their defense is fast. They're aggressive. They run to the football. They play man in the secondary and really put a lot of heat and pressure on you up front. So, it's a different type of team, and certainly the fastest team we've played all year.
Coach, I know you're going into the 10th game, but how healthy – are you as healthy as you want to be, or is it all right? I mean –
We're not as healthy as I want to be because I want to be perfectly healthy.
Perfectly healthy, right.
We've got a couple guys that are playing that are not 100%. We've got a lineman or two that are not 100%, but they'll play. Everybody will play Friday night. We just won't have everybody at 100%, but they probably won't either.
Coach, I know if you had your ruthers, you'd certainly be playing this game at home, but your football team knows what's at stake, and you wouldn't have it any other way. Have you had a good week of practice?
We've had a good week. Monday was good. I thought Tuesday was a great practice. Today was fair. Tomorrow hopefully will be good, and then Friday is the big day. Hopefully that'll be a good performance for us, because I always feel like if we play well, we're going to win. And I think if we play well Friday night, we'll win the ball game. But that's a big if, and Fulton will have something to do with that too.
Of course, tomorrow's a walkthrough, so for all practical purposes, practice for this, preparations for this game pretty much over. Tomorrow you'll do your walkthroughs and have a final moment with your team, and it's time to lace them up and truck over to Fulton.
Absolutely. The hay's in the barn, as they say. There's nothing else we can do really to prepare them, and now it's just wait.
And again, the thing that I'm sure that you're glad is the fact that you control your own destiny, and Fulton's been a thorn in a lot of sides here for several years now. State champions the last couple of years, and have moved up, and so now it's what do you think about the new alignment and the new regions? Is it worked out like you thought it would, or are there some tweaking that still needs to be done?
I think there's some tweaking that needs to be done as far as where teams should be located in regions. I mean, and I'm not just saying this, but the regions 3 and 4 are tough, and I think I'll just say this: I don't think regions 1 and 2 are comparable from top to bottom. I think there's a gross difference there. Well, I guess there it is.
There it is.
I'm not saying there are not some good teams right there, but region 3 and region 4 are loaded. I mean, we're talking about us and Fulton and Catholic and Ray County all in those two regions, and then you've got even Soddy Daisy there is 5 and 4. They play Walker Valley. Soddy Daisy is going to be a heck of a. I'm assuming Soddy's going to win that game. Walker Valley could win it, I guess. That's going to be a heck of a team for the winner of our region to play. Lenoir City beat Soddy Daisy, and Soddy Daisy came within 1 point of beating Catholic. So it's been a wild region down there. But that's a pretty tough region, though, even though it's a small one.
Well, and Lenoir City and Catholic winner tomorrow night. If Lenoir City wins that one, Lenoir City would win that region.
Exactly. I don't look for that to happen, but you never know. Stranger things have happened.
That's right. But I'm saying, that would be a 500 team winning a region, and
Catholic's record's a little misleading, as we all know.
It is. It is overall.
They lost to some great football teams, and the case could be made that they're one of the top 1, 2, 3 teams in the state.
Well, Coach, I know winning 300 games was a real tribute, but you would throw that 300 game football out the window to come home with a really good playoff situation here and to see this football team advance on to.
Oh yeah, that's totally meaningless compared to the Clinton game, or compared to the Powell game, or certainly compared to the region championship at Fulton Friday night.
Right. Well, congratulations on a successful season thus far, and hopefully you bring home the region championship Friday night.
Well, thank you. Hope so.
And I don't know what the folks in the room think. How about a region championship Friday night? Well, it's an awful week, Coach. You was expecting something a little better. How about a region championship Friday night? Did our part, Coach.
No, appreciate it. Thank you.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be back. We'll be back here in the locker room next Friday to talk about the first round of the playoffs. Next Wednesday. Oh, excuse me. So I'm fired up. I'm pumped. So we'll see you back here Wednesday night.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big